Okay, so hello everyone, welcome back. This is a video continuation of the last video, which is how to service your torque wrench. And because in this video I dismantled and assembled my torque wrench, now they need to be calibrated. Now ideally, it would be better to bring this to a certified technician with a torque wrench calibrator, but where I live there's no one that does this, and even if there is, I prefer to do it myself because this is after all DIY, and I believe that is why you are here too. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that using this homemade torque wrench calibrator. Okay, I tried doing this by hand, calibrating your torque wrench by hand, and it's just very difficult to get consistency, and without consistency the calibration you perform would be unreliable, and I will explain that. Okay, so first some basics. Now in this video we will use foot pounds, okay, because this is what I am more familiar with and what I believe is much more easier to explain. Okay, so foot pounds or FT-LBS. Now as to why the abbreviation of pounds is LBS, I don't know. Okay, but anyway, foot pounds, meaning force that is measured in weight, in this case that is pounds, applied at the end of 1 foot or exactly 12 inches. So foot pounds. That is why, say if you're going to set your torque wrench at 30 pounds, meaning you are applying 30 pounds of force at a given 1 foot or 12 inches, okay? Or maybe you can say 30 pounds per 1 foot, but the common saying is foot pounds. So 30 pounds of force at the end of 12 inches or 1 foot. So it doesn't matter if you have a long or short torque wrench, so long as you set it to 30 pounds, you are still applying 30 pounds of force at the end of exactly 12 inches or 1 foot. Clear? So exactly on this torque wrench, if we are to measure that 1 foot or 12 inches, we should do so beginning at the middle of this drive, and okay, at the middle of center of that drive and up to here. That is exactly 1 foot. Okay, so say for example, if we're going to put this to 30 pounds, regardless of the length of this torque wrench, we are still applying 30 pounds of force at a given 12 inches or 1 foot, and then it clicks, and that tells you you have already reached 30 pounds. So when we calibrate our torque wrench, it is very important that the measuring scale that we apply would be at the exactly 12 inches and as much as possible 90 degrees to the torque wrench. Okay, so you're not pulling it from here or from here. As much as possible it should be 90 degrees. So this is why on my homemade torque wrench calibrator, from the center of this lug nut, okay, to here is exactly 12 inches, and these lines only serves as a reference point. That way I can get the torque wrench as 90 degrees as possible. Okay, and I can pull it here and also twist it here. Okay, so now maybe you have seen those videos wherein they place their torque wrench on a vise like so and say set it to 30 pounds, and just imagine this 30 pounds of weight and apply that weight exactly on 12 inches and calibrate it from there, and should it click, they will consider it calibrated. Now as far as I'm concerned, I see a problem with this method, because when you do this, there is one factor that they do not take into consideration, which is the weight of the torque wrench itself. Now if we're going to apply weight here, and if we're going to measure the weight of this torque wrench from this line, you see that is equivalent to 5.2 pounds. So that is 5.2 pounds that you do not factor in. So your calibration would be most probably off by 5.2 pounds because you did not factor in the weight of the torque wrench itself. Okay, so now maybe you've also seen people measuring their torque wrench and marking that 12 inches like so, and calibrate it from this mark. But the problem with this method as well is when you say, for example, set it to 30 pounds or 35 pounds in this case, if you measure that mark, see, that is no longer 12 inches. See? And so, like I've said earlier, doing this by hand would be very unreliable because you won't get consistency. That is why I made this, okay? I already have a video of how I made this, okay? I'll post a link of that in the description below. Now, just a recap from the last video. Remember, I took the pommel nut or lock nut out, okay, from the last video, and also I unscrewed the calibration screw flush to the body, okay? So before I will adjust it here, what I will first do is try to adjust it through this locking lug assembly, okay? Let's first bring that to the lowest setting, which is 10 pounds, and for 10 pounds I'm gonna use this, okay? Turn on the weighing scale. And you see that, I'll just show you quickly, okay? That's a weight of 1.0 pounds, and that is an automatic feature and locks the weight automatically. So I'm gonna zero that and then turn off the automatic feature, okay? Then I will try to get this as 90 degrees as possible, and let's try to see. So it's clicking exactly at 10.9 pounds. Now I want it to bring it to 13 pounds set at 10 pounds, okay? So I'll bring this down, then maybe give this about half a turn, okay? Bring this back up to 10 pounds. I hope you can see that, okay? Let's place it here. Now with this, you see, this is my reference line that tells me I'm exactly at 12 inches, okay? So let's see. So it's clicking now on 14.7 pounds now. That's what I want. Now what I would do now is to screw this locking lug assembly, okay? Just tighten that by hand first, okay? Now remember, we're still set at 10 pounds here, and we're getting a reading of 14.4 pounds here, and I did that intentionally, okay, because this is where the calibration screw comes in, and this serves as reference. So if we're going to need to add, meaning we need to turn the screw counterclockwise, and if we're going to need to subtract or deduct, we need to turn it clockwise. So 10 pounds here, but we're getting a reading of 14 pounds, so we need to turn the calibration screw clockwise, okay? So I'll give that maybe one full turn, and then let's see, okay? So let's try. So it went down to 10.8, 11.2, then it turned off. This is what I do not like about the scale, because it has an auto off feature. It turns every minute or two, okay? Turn off the auto feature again, and then let's try to, so we need to deduct or subtract, so we need to turn the screw clockwise to deduct. I'll give that maybe 1/4 turn, and let's see. So 13.9, 11.6, I'll turn that, give that 1/2 turn or 1/4 turn. So 10.9, 10.6, 10.9. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly 10 pounds, okay? Just more or less, give or take, and you just have to round it off. 9.9, 9.6, 9.5, 9.5, 9.7. So now I'm gonna consider that already 10 pounds, okay? Like I said, you just have to round it off. We can consider this now calibrated at 10 pounds now. Are we done? Not yet, because we need to try, say, bring it up to 40, okay? So 40 pounds, okay? This is a 10 to 80 pound torque wrench. Now we need to replace this. Sorry about that. We're going to use this, okay? So we're gonna go in the middle. So 40 pounds here, and let's see if we're gonna go get exactly 40 pounds, okay? Let's check. And as you can see, it only gave us 32 pounds now. We need to add, that means we need to turn the adjustment screw counterclockwise. I'll give that 1/2 turn, okay? And let's see. $36.7, 37.7, 37.7. You see, we are able to get consistent result. So we need to add some more. So meaning counterclockwise turn, I'll give that about 1/4 turn. I mean 39.9, you see, very close to 40 pounds. 40.4, 40.4, and we can also try to do that through here. It's much slower. 40.4. So see, it's just that with this it's much faster. 40.3. So consistent result. So now, can we consider it calibrated? As far as I'm concerned, not yet. So I'll try to bring it up to 60 pounds, and I will try to turn that through this pommel nut. That way I'm also already locking in the pommel nut on the handle, okay? Okay, so 60 pounds, okay? So let's check. Align the hook on that line. That gives us our 12 inches. Turn off the automatic feature. And let's check if we get 60 pounds. See, 60.5. Let's do that through here. 60.3. One last, okay? 60.5. So I'm gonna consider that already 60 pounds. So let me again try to bring this up all the way to 80 pounds, okay? The highest torque setting that this torque wrench is set for, okay? So I'm gonna turn it to the pommel nut. That way I'm gonna lock the pommel nut on the handle at the same time. So 80 pounds of torque, okay? Let me first try to put some oil on here, okay? And also on there. Now let's check if we're gonna get 80 pounds. 78.9. We were too fast. Let's try to do that again. Much slower. Through here. $79.9. Okay, see that? Let's try that again. $79.8. So round that off. that's gonna be 80 pounds. So now I can finally lock the pommel nut down. Okay, make sure this is all the way unlocked. Put that on our vice grip, bench vise. Use a pipe wrench and then lock it down just like that. Okay, so because we tightened the pommel nut down with the handle, we're still at 80 pounds. Now let's check if we did not move it out of calibration when we tighten down the pommel nut. Okay, '89, 78.9. I'll try to do that here. $79.8. See? So this is set at 50 pounds. Let's again check until we are satisfied. Okay, center that. $49.6. So I would consider that 50. One last. 49.8. See? So I'll keep doing that until I'm completely satisfied. So again, at 80 pounds, let's again check. Let's see. Okay. See, 80 pounds exact. So now I can consider this torque wrench calibrated. However, before I can consider this job done, there is still one thing that we need to do, and I do believe this is something that other people have omitted to do, and I do believe this is very important. Bring it all the way down, remove the circlip, okay, remove the pivot pin, and remove the head. And this is what we need to do. You see those? That is already factory. It came from the factory like this. And I do believe they did that in order to punch in the threads, in order for the screw not to move. If we do not do this, the calibration we did, the adjustment we did, is going to move every time you use your torque wrench and every time this clicks. So this is very important step and we should not skip this. So now I'm gonna punch this thread in order to lock the screw in place. Okay, I'm gonna tap that there, and also gonna tap this on this side. So I'm gonna put this back again in our torque wrench. Just remember the orientation. This is the face of the screw. It must face this hole and that, and then the pivot pin, and then the circlip. Okay, so again, before we can call our calibration complete, let's do a final check. So I've got the torque set at 40 pounds. Okay, and let's check 40.1, 40.2, and let's check that through this. Okay, 40.2. So one final check again on 80 pounds, and let's see. Okay, but basically I already did 50, 60, and I don't want to bore you out with all that clicking. So one last check just so I can show you. So 80.6. Excuse me. Let's do that through here. $79.7. So now I can consider this torque wrench accurately calibrated. So anyways, the same procedure for this longer torque wrench. Okay, like I've said, it is foot-pounds. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be on the handle, because as far as I'm concerned, the mathematics involved is exact. 2 plus 2 is always going to be 4 and not 5 or 6 or 7. In the same manner, it is foot pounds and not handle pounds. Okay, so right now I've got the torque wrench set at 50. Let me turn off the automatic feature, and then let's see if we're going to get a click at I was too fast. Get a click at 50. Okay, so 50 point something, I did not catch that. 50 point something again, 50.08 something. Okay, so let's bring this up to 75 pounds and let's see. Okay, too fast again. Let's do sorry about that. I'll try that through here, and let's do that much slower. 75 point something, I did not catch that. So 74.8. so it's considered as 75. Like I've said, it doesn't necessarily have to be exactly 75, you just have to round it off. So let's increase that again to 100 pounds. So 100 pounds, let's check. Let's do that here, it's much slower, and we should get 100 pounds. See, 100 pounds, it clicked and it went up to 101. Let's try to narrow that down. Okay, so 99.5. so I'm going to consider that as 100 pounds. Basically, I've already calibrated this torque wrench and I just wanted to show you. Okay, don't forget to put the rubber cover back on, very important, in order to keep dust out. So anyway, that is how you can calibrate your torque wrench at home confidently and accurately. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, using a homemade torque wrench calibrator. Now, I am sorry if you're looking for that type of video wherein they will just do it without any special tool like this. They will just place the torque wrench on their car and just apply weight, something like that. As far as I'm concerned, I tried doing that, and in my view, it's not as accurate because you cannot get repeatability, and without repeatability, you will not have consistency, and without consistency, you won't have accuracy. So if you want to calibrate your torque wrench accurately at home, I do believe this is the best method to go. So it's very easy to make. You don't necessarily have to do the exact same thing. Okay, just remember foot pounds. Okay, so anyway, I do believe that's it for this video. I apologize if this video is somewhat long. I tried to make this as comprehensive as possible to show you every step along the way, but I hope you find this enjoyable. I hope you find this informative and helpful, and if you do, let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.